Ladies and gentlemen, Trump posts on Facebook for the first time in 2 years or so, since January of 21, and he's back on YouTube as well. He'll be back on Twitter, posting on Twitter very soon. So, Truth Social doesn't look like it's going to last past September. That's according to Bloomberg. There might be a merger that could help it out. But let's read this. CNBC, YouTube lifts restrictions on Trump's account, but CNN, Trump posts on Facebook for first time since January 21. Rolling Stone, Trump returns to Facebook, sorry to keep you waiting. That's probably the most positive Rolling Stone article on Trump in I don't even know how long. Reuters, I'm back. Trump returns to YouTube and Facebook after 2-year ban. Now, he's back, ladies and gentlemen, which means that he'll probably get indicted next week. NBC News reported that. Now, I did a segment on this, and, there were people who were saying, this is ridiculous. Why is this taking place? I tried to explain during the segment. We had record low poverty with Trump. Okay, this is according to CNN, but also the St. Louis Fed. You can look at all the economic charts. Household median incomes were at record highs in 2019 with Trump. The last year of his presidency, you had experts, media, bureaucrats, and Democratic governors shutting down their economies. This is a fact. There's really no way to look at that. You could say, well, it was because of his mismanagement that Democrats or that Democratic governors were forced to shut down their state economies. They wouldn't let you go to get a cup of coffee or go to the gym, but there was a run on toilet paper. Now there's a run on the banks. Okay, first there was a run on toilet paper. Now there's a run on the banks. So, and I will do a live stream on this later this evening, but you have to understand, you cannot, almost half the electorate, and with New York and California, you're never again going to get a Republican that gets anywhere close to the popular vote. But you're not, and all of media, like all of media, just in the most apoplectic, unified reaction to Trump every single day. You're not gonna. It's not like we have this wonderful, free, and vibrant press with different viewpoints. All of media despises Trump, and there are a handful of publications that, tell the truth about who he is as a president or what he did, his policies, his accomplishments. So, but most people who don't like Trump have no clue that we had record low poverty in 2019. You cannot defeat that with just, he's devouring democracy. We are 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. We didn't have an invasion in Europe with Trump. In terms of the economy and in terms of foreign policy, I know I repeat myself a lot in this YouTube channel, but we have over 203,000 subs because I'm pretty spot on in the analysis. I told everyone that banks would collapse and the stock market would crash, and we're seeing that. We saw that all last year, and I told everyone in 21. And last year was the worst year in a decade in the market. And now you're seeing banks collapse, and I talked about that in my Federalist article. So it's not like I'm like Nostradamus. I'm not Nostradamus, but I'm pretty spot on. I'm pretty spot on when it comes to my analysis. And I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, the following. They can't stop him, so then they indict him. They can't stop the man, so then they try to indict him, so then you could get enough people to say, I just don't want to deal with the headache of Stormy and the bedroom and Michael Cohen and all of this nonsense and Avenatti and all. They don't want to deal. There are enough people out there who like Trump's policies who won't vote for him because of the media madness, hysteria, people stomping their feet in these publications and cable stations throughout the country late night there's a grandiose, there's a bird's eye macro view of this that people have to look at. It's not just about they're going after him. Of course they're going after him. They're ruthless. You have specific agents with text messages at the Bureau going after Trump. We all know this. They wrote, we'll stop him, and they tried their best to stop him. And they undermined his presidency, not just loyalists within the US government, but media. There was a concerted, you cannot even watch late night. Jimmy Kimmel has no business spewing endless propaganda because he's not doing anything different from Seth Meyers, from Stephen Colbert, from the Washington Post, from the New York Times, from Rolling Stone, from Vanity Fair, from Esquire, from the Atlantic, New Yorker, New York Magazine. It's a public no one is speaking truth to power going after Trump. It's a public relations machine trying to bolster a president now who is presiding over a catastrophe in terms of foreign policy. We're close to we are not, this is not like hyperbole. We're at the edge of, we are almost at a point where we can have a nuclear confrontation and possible annihilation. That's not hyperbolic. We are 90 seconds to midnight according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists because of the invasion in Europe and directly because of Biden's foreign policy. Trump would have emphasized a peace deal or some kind of negotiated settlement. Now, nobody calls Jimmy Kimmel or anyone else on this actually stating okay, you know what? There's a viewpoint that's different from your own. Do you have to utilize your network for free advertising, free political advertising all the time? Do you have to do that? Because that's what this is about, free political advertising. Jim Kimmel and everybody else has a First Amendment right to say whatever they want. However, if it's a concerted, organized, strategic effort to give free political advertising, you're giving a campaign contribution in the billions every month or in the millions every night. Or then tens of millions every night. You're giving free political advertising because they can't stop Trump. That's the bird's eye view. That's what people should understand. It's not just they're going after Trump. They don't like him. They can't stop him. Half the electorate will always choose Trump. They will, the Paul Ryan, John McCain, Mitt Romney, Republican Party, Mitch McConnell, Republican Party no longer exists. This is the Lincoln Project. They're an extension of the Democratic Party now. The Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people are no longer part of the Republican Party. It's a Trump Republican, populist Republican Party. They're against never-ending military conflict and wars, and they want economic, they want record highs in household median income and a record low in poverty. That's the populism that Trump stands for. It's not the populism that Democrats or media thinks Trump stands for. If he makes crude comments, Biden made even more crude comments, but they're not taken out of context and mushroom into this life of their own. So there are numerous Trumps. There's like one Trump that media sees and Democrats have tried to create, and then there's the Trump that is, a good president. Then there's the person who he will be indicted because they can't stop him. He's back on Facebook, he's back on Twitter, he's back on YouTube. And they can't stop the man. He will always get half the electorate, almost half the electorate. And if the only way they can truly stop him is if Georgia and Arizona Republican parties don't vote alongside Trump. That's the only way. If the Republican parties turn their back on Trump, then we'll have, I think Hillary Clinton will be the nominee in 2024. I'll eventually be right about that. I know that people think I'm nuts, but I said that Clinton would lose. I said there would be a stock market crash and banking collapse. There is. And we're going to see a completely new ballgame. They're going to indict Trump, but he's the Obi-Wan Kenobi of politics, so he'll only get stronger. Look at the bird's eye view. What's the macro picture in all of this? They can't stop him. They have to indict him because you have impeachment of Hunter and Joe, who did commit crimes, felonies. Trump did not commit a felony, but they're going to try to get him on this. And it'll be very difficult. I don't think they'll convict him, but it's a jury of only people who, obsess over Trump. So give me your thoughts. It'll probably be a jury. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll be back in a couple of